All right, what's going on, friends? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to level your deck on your Cub Cadet Ultima series. And I'm going to try to show you a few things without having the fancy tool that they actually make to help level your decks. I'll put that tool down in the description. It would probably make it a lot easier. Here's a picture of one here on the screen, but I don't have that tool. If you don't want to buy that tool, I'm going to show you another way that I think you could still do this. These are some of the tools that you're probably going to want to have. Maybe a flashlight. I'm going to end up using a 1/2-inch socket wrench, a 1/2-inch wrench, and for the front and rear leveling, I'm going to use a 3/4-inch wrench. And I am going to use this to torque the front nut when I get done. So I'm going to torque that on. I have this little square right here that I'm going to use. This is something maybe you don't have to have, but I think it's going to make things a little bit easier. This is a regular tape measure, and I have a little marker. All right, first thing is I have the mower sitting in my garage on a spot on my concrete floor that is really close to level. I wouldn't say this was 100%, but it's 99% level. You don't want to put it on something that's like all up and down like this. It's definitely, you want to be flat. I guess if the floor is not exactly level, the most important thing is it's flat. It's got to be flat because we're going to measure from one side, the tip of the blade on one side to the tip of the blade on another side. After that, we're going to raise our deck all the way up, so as high as I can. It's about 4.5 inches on this deck. All right, next thing for safety, I'm going to unplug my spark plugs. So no crazy way this thing's going to start up and cut my hands off while I'm working on the blades underneath. There's one on this side, and I actually on this mower, I have one on this side. Probably same thing with your mower. And just don't forget to plug them back in because it's not going to start up without them plugged in. Man, I'm smart. Okay. All right. First thing we're going to do is level this from left to right. There's a little bolt right here. This is the bolt we're going to use. It has a jam nut on it. This bolt will level this from left to right. We got one on this side, and I also have one on the other side. If you tighten that bolt, this deck is going to go up on this side. So if I tighten the other bolt, the deck will go up on that side. Let me show you how I found to measure it without the little fancy measuring device. All right, first I'm going to start on the side where my chute is, where the grass is going to come out. Now, this is my neighbor's mower. She did have the mulching cover over this, so I took the mulching cover off. But you're going to want to turn your blades so they are perpendicular to the mower. So like this. Not parallel with it, but perpendicular. Turn it just a little bit. First measurement I'm going to take will be right here at the tip of this blade. I'm going to go in just a little bit because it's really hard to get to the tip. But this is where I can use my tape measure. And it looks like it's exactly 4 inches to where my blade would be cutting. Now I'm going to go on the other side and we'll see how close that is. This blade and then the blade on the other side should match. All right, that tip of that blade was 4 inches. This side is going to be a little harder to measure unless you have that fancy measuring tool. But I'm going to show you how I did it. I put a piece of cardboard down so I can lay down here, and I turned this blade so it was perpendicular. Be careful you don't cut yourself if you just sharpened your blades like I did. I have a video on that also. All right, so I can see my tip of my blade is right, or my sharpening edge is right. I can feel where it's at. So I took my tape measure, maybe lock some of this out like that, lay it down, bend this up, and I want you to measure up and see how far or what the distance is between that cutting edge and the bottom of your deck here, which mine ends up being about 3/8 of an inch. So now I can measure down and down from the bottom of my floor and go up 3/8 of an inch. So now I'm just going to add 3/8 of an inch. That puts me at like 3 7/8. So I'm about 1/8 of an inch different on this side compared to that side. So I could raise the side of this deck up about 1/8 of an inch. So how I'm going to do that, I can sit this, my little square I got here, and I can go up 1/8 of an inch. Just wherever it's sitting, it doesn't really matter. Right now I have it right, looks like it's at about 2.5 inches. So I'm going to go up 2 5/8. To raise that deck, I have to tighten that. So I'm going to loosen this jam nut, which is the nut on the bottom, with my 1/2 inch wrench, and I'm going to raise this. So tighten this, it will raise it. That looks close enough right there. I'm going to tighten that jam nut back up. That's 57 foot-pounds if you do have a torque wrench for a nut like that, but my torque wrench ain't going to really fit on there. Now I'm going to re-measure this and see what it looks like now. Yeah, it looks like that's going to put me real close to that 4 inches now. I'm going to go on the other side and measure it. Yeah, that looks good. All right, now my deck is level from left to right. Now we're going to go check the front and the rear of the deck. The front of the deck should be 1/16 of an inch to 1/4 inch lower than the rear of the deck. So now we're going to take our blade and make it go parallel. This blade on this side is the easiest to check. So I'm going to go under here and measure the tip of that one, and we'll measure the other tip. All right, this is where I made this little fancy cardboard measuring piece that I thought would make this a little easier. I just cut a piece of cardboard, and because I can't fit this up under my deck, so I just measured this out, and I did put I put 1/2 inch marks, and I put 1/8 inch marks on there. I figured that would be close enough. And you're gonna have to put it on one side of your cardboard, and then I kind of looked down the cardboard and took some of the measurements and put them on the other side. All right, I got my blades in here parallel with my mower. Remember, like I said, it should be 1/16 of an inch to 1/4 inch lower on the front. And I already looked at this. This deck is quite a bit lower on the front for some reason. So we're going to measure this up. Now I am right there. I gotta get down so I'm level. It's not that easy to do. Looks like I am about 3 5/8 in the front, and 3 5/8 in the front. Now I got a 3 5/8. I'm gonna spin this around like that. So I go on the other side. And measure on the other side of that sharp blade, which is a little easier if you don't have cameras in front of you. You'll see the front of that on the other side, like 4 3/8. So 4 3/8, 3 5/8. It's quite a bit difference. So now, all right, you got to take this little rubber cap off the front, and this one I have a jam nut on that. You got to take that off or loosen that. Oh, I forgot to say you might need another. Kind of forgot that. To take this jam nut off, you're going to need 2 3/4 inch wrenches. So put one on the back, and I do have this adjustable wrench. I got to loosen this jam nut off of that. So loosen that front nut. All right, there we go. Loosen that front one. I can stick my square down here. Just watch it go up 1/4 of an inch. Right now it looks like it's about 2 inches. Now to raise the front of the deck, to raise it, you tighten it. Yeah, that's close enough right there. Now this jam nut right here is same thing, 57 foot-pounds. So if you want to do that, put your 3/4 inch wrench on the end, put your torque wrench on that one. There we go. If you have a torque wrench, don't forget to loosen this up when you're done. It's not good to store them like that, so store them back on like 0. To lower it, you just loosen this nut right here after you loosen up the jam nut. All right, let me go remeasure my blades and see if they're close to just a 1/4 inch difference. Like, so it would be a 1/4 inch lower in the front compared to the rear. See if I got closer. Measure 3 times, cut once. All right, so now we are little, looks like 4 1/8. The back is 4 3/8. That's good. Now I'm a 1/4 inch lower in the front than it is in the back. And if you want, you could go on the other side and check your other side if you want, but it should be real similar. All right, last step, do not forget to plug your spark plugs back in if you unplug them. Well, I hope this video helped you out with leveling your deck on your Cub Cadet. Leave me a comment down below if you like some of my tricks to leveling your deck. Give this video a thumbs up. If I really helped you out a lot, you can hit that thanks button down below. Hit that subscribe button to help support my channel. God bless and have a great day.